Okay. Good day, everyone. So, I will be just giving you some highlights and inputs with regards to our remaining topics for ethics, and this is the culture and its role in human or moral behavior. Then we have the moral agent and feelings, and how does feelings affect decision making. Okay, so this is just real quick explanation of these three topics. Okay, so most of the slides are already self-explanatory in nature and in context. However, I would just like to highlight some of the terms and some of the ideas and concepts behind those topics. So this video lecture gives more clear explanation with respects to these different ideas. Okay, in terms of culture, okay, so we will start with culture and what is the role of culture in moral behavior. So I will give you time to read, okay, the slides flashed in your screen. Okay, so just pause, this video lecture for you to read what is culture, and after you read it, just continue playing the video. Okay, so before we talk about right and wrong, we need to understand where our ideas of right and wrong come from. Okay, so today you will see how culture silently but powerfully shapes our moral behavior. Okay, because it has something to do with our upbringing. Okay, and terms of our backgrounds. So culture influences how we judge actions, how we feel guilt or pride, and even how we decide in difficult situations. So, by the end of this lesson or this lecture, you should be able to explain how culture affects moral judgment, evaluate ethical differences across societies, across different backgrounds, and also to reflect on Filipino moral values in terms of making moral decision. Okay, so let's see understanding culture. Okay? Culture is a shared system of beliefs, values, and customs, and even practices of a group of person, not just an individual. Okay, it includes both material culture and non-material culture. When we see material culture, this is the tangible aspect of culture, something that you can see, that you can feel, that you can touch. Okay, for example, clothing, food, technology. Okay, and when you say non-material culture, that is the intangible aspect. You cannot see. Okay, no physical form. So these are the things that we cannot see. It's like beliefs. It's like values, even norms. Okay, this is considered non-material culture. Okay, so culture gives us identity and belonging. Okay, but it also tells us what behavior is acceptable or unacceptable based on your culture. Like for example, in the Philippines, we say po and opo, di ba? Whenever when we were still a young ones or a child, itinuro na sa atin pagsasabi ng po and opo. Okay, so failing to do this, okay, may be seen as rude, or even if the speaker has no bad intention, kahit hindi mo naman sinasadya, pero ang iniisip ng iba parang wala ka ng galang, because that is, already a trait of being a Filipino to use po and opo. Okay, so that has something to do with culture in relation to moral behavior. Okay, so we have here the concept of ethical pluralism, moral relativism, and enculturation. Okay, so these forms a different perspective in terms of culture and to your moral behavior. First, let's go with enculturation. Through enculturation, okay, sabi diyan, enculturation is a process to learn, internalize, and adapt. Okay, norms, you can adapt values, you can adapt beliefs, okay, even behavior in culture. Okay, so through enculturation, we slowly internalize cultural values until it feels natural because you already adapted it. So it already became natural, no, in actions. Okay, so this leads now to moral relativism. So this is already the connection. And culturation now, if you internalize that, it became already a natural phenomenon which leads to moral relativism. Okay. The moral relativism is the idea that the moral standards differs across culture. Magkakaiba tayo, okay? Kaya nga siya relativism, okay? What is the belief here may not be the same as the belief in that some areas, okay? However, connect natin dun sa isa which is ethical pluralism, okay? When we say ethical pluralism, it reminds us that while moral views differ, okay, not all actions are beyond criticism. Ibig sabihin niyan, some cultures prioritize family loyalty over individual success. Okay? Especially in the eastern area because of the collectivist relations that we have. Okay? So we prioritize family loyalty over individual success. Okay? So in other culture naman, it emphasizes interdependence or independence rather, just like in the Western area. They don't care about family loyalty. They don't care about relationship with others. All they care about is their own independence. Okay. Okay. So understanding these different perspectives, this now has difference between um, moral quick judgment. Hindi natin pwedeng diktahan o hindi natin pwedeng i-judge yung isang moral behavior ng isang tao or the value of the culture because we have this what we call ethical pluralism. Okay? So, ganun siya nagmamatter. So, the reflection now in these three subtopics, enculturation, moral relativism, and ethical pluralism is that should understanding cultural differences stops us from criticizing harmful practices? Okay? Should understanding cultural differences stops us from criticizing harmful practices? Why or why not? So you can stop this video and think about that reflection. Okay? So next aspect is we have social norms, ethical universalism, and cultural competence. Okay. So, when we say social norms, these are not codified. Mean to say, these are unwritten rules. Walang nagsasabing masama siya, walang nagsasabing tama siya. It is unwritten rules, but we follow, okay, without being told. Hindi naman siya sinasabing gawin mo, but we follow. Okay, so ethics asks a deeper questions. Are there moral rules? Okay. Are there moral rules that apply to all human? Are there moral rules that apply to all human? Okay. That will lead now to our next subtopic, which is the ethical universalism. Okay. The ethical universalism says, okay, balikan natin yung tanong natin kanina, are there moral rules that apply to all humans? So ethical universalism says yes. Okay? Why? Especially regarding human dignity and rights. Kaya nga tayo merong um, uh, crimes against humanity. Kasi nga, ipinagbabawal pumatay. Di ba? Not just only in our country, but across different country. So, are there moral rules that apply to all humans? Yes. Okay? Because of ethical universalism. It applies to all. Okay? Regardless of human dignity and regardless of human rights. Okay? So, cultural competence, on the other hand, allows us to respect differences while still standing for ethical principles. Okay? So, cultural competence allows us to respect differences while still standing for ethical principles. Example, respecting culture does not mean tolerating abuse or injustices. Okay, so if you're respecting culture, regardless kung culture na yan is, practicing immoral actions, practicing different perspectives, okay, that not aligned to your moral beliefs. Okay, so that is cultural competence. Okay, you respect differences, you respect other cultures, because that is a the standing of ethical principle as so as cultural competence is concerned. Okay, so that is the ability to understand, that is the ability to appreciate and interact effectively with the different groups with different culture. And that's cultural competence. Okay, katulad ng pag-accept natin sa iba't ibang culture, just like K-pop culture, ano ba, Japanese culture. Okay, we accept those things, di ba? So ganun siya nangyayari. Okay, so yeah, so let's go back. Okay, so next, we have here the different um culture, Filipino culture values. Okay, so this is already, self-explanatory. Okay, so values like kapwa, pakikisama, hiya, utang na loob, and bayanihan. These all values or traits of a Filipino that guides our moral behavior. Okay, these values also strengthen the community, but also create moral tension. Okay, for example, helping a relative unfairly. Okay, if you help your relatives unfairly because of utang na loob, then this will now conflict with injustice, di ba? When do people value support? Okay, in terms of critical or ethical behavior. Okay, and when do they challenge it? Diba? That is the reflection, okay, on this topic. When do Filipino values support ethical behavior, and when they do challenge it? Okay, so that is about culture, okay, and its role to behavior. Next is the moral agent and developing virtue. Okay, so a moral agent, okay, sabi natin dito before in our introduction, is the person. Okay, the moral agent is someone capable of choosing right from wrong. Okay, this requires now reason, this requires now freedom, this requires intention, and this requires accountability. So every time you make choice, you shape your character. For example, choosing honesty in small things trains you for bigger ethical decisions later. Okay, so that is a great example. So when say virtue, okay, virtue focuses on character rather than rules. Okay, kapag sabi natin character rather than rules, it is more on the outcomes. Okay, so it asks, what kind of person should I be? Okay, so Aristotle believed that happiness, sabi natin last time, comes from eudaimonia, or eudaimonia comes from living virtuously, living with a virtuous life. So if we compare that, the rule asks, what should I do? Diba? In terms of the ontology, because the ontology basically more on rules, it asks, what should I do? Okay. In consequentialism, consequences asks, what will happen? Okay. And in virtue, okay, in virtue, it asks, who am I becoming? Okay, who am I becoming? So it is now more of a person. It's more on a character. It's more on the outcomes rather than rules, rather than consequences. Okay, so that is more on a virtue ethics. Okay, so golden mean. Okay, golden mean. This is more on the virtue. Okay, lies between excess and deficiency. Okay, so for example, courage. But courage lies between cowardice and recklessness. Bakit siya cowardice and recklessness? For example, seeing bullying. Nakikita ka ng bullying incidents. So, if you walk away and avoid, okay, yung nakita mo, that means deficiency. So, that's cowardice, di ba? But Kung nakita mo, tapos kinonfront mo yung bully, kinonfront mo yung bully person, you are too aggressive of confronting the bully. Okay, so that might start up, a physical fight. Okay, so that means recklessness, and that is the excess, okay, of golden mean. Okay, so yung una is cowardice, that is the deficiency. And then kapag sobra naman, that is recklessness, and that is excess. Okay, so meaning to say that golden mean should, achieving golden mean as part of courage is that you feel fear but act wisely. Okay, you might stand beside the victim, report it to a trusted authority, or use calm words to de-escalate. Okay, you found, or you will find the balance. Okay, so that's how you do, golden meat. So it's hard. Okay, so, um, speaking up respectfully in class also shows courage. Diba? Speaking up respectfully in class shows also courage. Okay, so not silence, not arrogance. Okay, so that's how, virtue, okay, in terms of what golden mean is. Okay, yung ating deficiency, lies between excess, okay, and deficiency. Okay, so this also, has to do with the different cardinal virtues. When you say cardinal virtues, like for example, prudence. Okay, prudence guides decision. Okay, justice ensures fairness, and fortitude strengthens perseverance, and temperance controls desire. Okay, so these virtues must work together to form a good character of an individual. So the best reflection that I can give to you about these cardinal virtues is that, which virtue do you find hardest to practice as a student? Okay, which virtue do you find the hardest to practice as a student? Okay, so that is the reflection for our cardinal virtues. Okay, so next is feelings and moral decision. Okay, so feelings. Okay, feelings alerts us to moral situation. Okay, guilt, empathy, shame, and compassion. This signal that something ethical is at stake. For example, feeling guilty after lying shows you moral awareness. Okay? Sinungaling ka pero nag-guilty ka. So, it means, you have that moral awareness, and that is the feeling of guilt. Okay? So, when feelings help or mislead. Okay? Yan. Why feelings matter in ethics? So, sabi dito, note that while feelings are important moral guides, they can also mislead us if not balanced with reason. Okay, sabi nga nila, you should always, decide rationally and not emotionally. Okay, so feelings can guide us towards good, but it also midless us, di ba? It also misled us. Okay, so fear may stop us from doing what is right. Anger may push us towards harm. The best reflection I can give you with these feelings and how feelings will create a good moral decision is that, should compassion excuse cheating? Why or why not? Should compassion excuse cheating in all forms? Okay, why or why not? Okay, so we integrate reason and emotion. Okay. Ethical maturity happens when feelings inform reason and reason guides action. Okay? Ethical maturity happens when feeling inform reason and reason guides action. We must reflect before acting. Okay? So, for example, a student feels pressure to cheat. A student feels pressure to cheat but chooses honesty after reflection. Ay, hindi pala maganda. Okay? So, to sum it up, okay, culture shapes our values, virtue shapes our character, and feeling shapes our moral awareness. Again, culture shapes our values, Virtue shapes our character, and feelings shape our moral awareness. Ethics is the discipline that helps us integrate all three: culture, virtue, and feelings. So, ethical living is not about perfection, it is about continuous growth. Okay, so remember that every decision you make is also shaping the person you become. Every decision you make is also shaping the person you become. Okay, so that is just a quick explanation of these three topics. Okay, so most of the contents, most of the ideas, most of the concepts are already self-explanatory. So this is just an enhancement, okay, with regards to the different terms, okay, and concepts that used in these topics. Okay, so I hope this finds you clarifications of some of the key important terms found on this context. Okay, so that's all, and thank you for listening.